Drawtectives. Who needs them? I need them. I need them really bad. I love this series. Honestly, I just love Drawfee as a whole. Pretty much any single piece of art you see me make, I've watched at least 2 Drawfee streams while doing. And they're one of the big inspirations for me starting an art YouTube channel as a whole. And so because of that, today we're just going to be making a self-insert character for Drawtectives. For this, I decided to rewatch a few of the episodes to get a vibe of like what the different characters were like again and what the character designs were like. But more importantly, I also wanted to like make sure that this character that I was going to be making would fit in nicely with the existing trio. I didn't want my character to just like stand by them and clearly look not part of their world. And so a few of the things that I had to remember for this character is that they had to be more colorful, not an animal person.
Why can your cat talk?
I thought we weren't allowed to have animal people in this universe. Well, I thought we were barred from doing that.
And had distinct details about them to differentiate them from the rest of the crew. I'm really gonna waste no time. Here are some of the sketches that I put together. Originally, I was gonna like draw full character art of this character, but I'm gonna be real with you. I did not remember that February had less days in it. I forgot that February was a short month, and I was like, oh my god, I've got like 2 weeks until this video's due. No dog. I have like 4 days. I have 4 days to record this, edit it, and get it out there. While trying to think of this character, I decided I want to go with a little bit of like a tiefling design, give them the horns, give them the pointy ears, and this like little demon tail kind of thing. We've seen characters with horns. I don't think we've seen one with a tail per se, but I didn't think it was out of place for this world necessarily, especially with some of the weirder characters we've seen already. And so I decided this was going to be a short tiefling who was like taller than Gma, but like shorter than Rose. This character is Frank. This is Frank, the tiefling mechanic who became a Drawtective. Frank, this is Frank. This is Frankie. We got York, Gma, Rose, and Frankie. Some of their key personality traits are like they like to wander around, love to eat, and maybe before being a Drawtective or like on the side of being a Drawtective, they're also a mechanic. If you don't know me in real life, you wouldn't know that I'm from New York, and more specifically, I'm from Long Island. And so a lot of times I feel very connected to Julia. She'll say something off the wall and I'll be like, oh yeah, no, I get that. I get what you're saying. And then the rest of the team's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, I get it. I know what she's talking about. And I wanted like a little bit of a reference to Long Island with this character. So if you look at their jacket, you can see it says The End Mechanics. Now, if you don't know, The End is kind of like the slogan of Montauk. And it was also referenced by Julia in the episode they did where they made something with different materials. Julia had made this like little diorama of a train wrapping around I think it was a cafe called like The End Cafe. And I didn't see anyone bringing that up. I was like, do y'all know? Do y'all know that's a Long Island thing? Well, now you do. Anyways, back to the character. I think they've been in a lot of workplace accidents. Like as a mechanic, like they've had a car dropped on them like multiple times. But you know what? They're durable. They're durable. Well, maybe not that durable. Because if you look at like their necklace, that little triangle bit in the sketch, that's their tooth. You can see like they have like one tooth sticking out and the other one's not there. It's because, you know, maybe a car landed on their head or something, knocked that tooth out. Now they wear it like a necklace. You can see on the right side, I kind of like did like a second version sketch of it. They kind of got like less of a squared out face. And the horn slightly changed shape. In the final design, it looks a lot closer to the ones on the right, although like all the personality stuff kind of comes together to make the one character. And I also think they like to have this fanny pack on them at all times. You see in the corner, I have like my character holding up their little fanny pack like an Animal Crossing villager. It just has like a bunch of their different like tools in it. Not even like necessarily like mechanic tools, just like a bunch of different random little knickknacks and tools, but then also like some scrap metal that he thought was cool. He's like, no, I don't have a letter opener, but I do have this piece of rusty metal that we can use to cut this paper. Some things about Frankie is that they're an only child, that they only have a dad. Again, many workplace accidents. They have bi-weekly visitation rights with their daughter, but their daughter is just a pet dog that they got with their ex. And so I think that Frankie is also like a girl dad. Like he dedicates so much of his time and so much of his money just to making his dog daughter happy. And I kind of like to think that Gma helps out with that. Just like taking the dog out for walks, playing with them when Frankie can't. I like to think that actually the X and Frankie both hire Jima to help take care of her. And maybe like by total coincidence, when Frankie becomes a Drawtective, he walks up and is like, "Oh my god, my dog walker, what are you doing here?" And Jima's like, "I work here." And Frankie's like, "I do too." And he's a bottom. Come on. Look at Frankie and tell me he's not. That man is a bottom. There's no ifs and or buts.
Stop it! Denial is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay.
Let's just go into the digital work.
Check this out. Ah!
Oh, wow.
Alright, so for this drawing, I wanted to have a bunch of different Drawfee references in it. I think at the end of this, there's two main ones that really pop out. The first one you can already see starting to come to shape. I wanted this little tiny man to kind of be the main, like, centerpiece of the group. Just like, what is everyone looking at? It's this little man in the corner. And originally I was gonna have it be like, maybe this is in Midnight Alley, and that this was like a little like side mystery they were trying to figure out, like what's this little man doing? And I was like, maybe it'll be like a rat. Maybe I'll switch out the man with a rat, and it'll be like, oh, this little rat's gonna tell us a little thing. But then I was like, no, I want Porcini in it. I want Porcini to be there, and I don't want to have two rats. So you can see like this little rat shape on Rosé's like shoulder, like behind, coming out from behind her head. That's gonna be Porcini soon enough. He's talking about York's death. I don't know. I was like, what could they be doing? I was like, you know, Porcini's like an art hand. Maybe they're feeling a little dramatic. You can see I like tried to put in this sort of like gradient in the background to like give the vibe of like a night alley, pretty lights, but like a dark color palette. I end up not going with that, and I instead go for like this like Jancy's office, like windows being cast on the wall. You can see I already changed the little man in the foreground to be the intern from one of Jacob's pop-offs, where he made all of the Drawtective characters as like pixel art characters. And so instead it went from being a mystery to, who's this new little intern? He's like a really tiny little dude, and he's sitting at the corner of Jancy's desk. And you can see my character coming in on the right there, being completely lost. He's like, I thought I was the new guy. Who's this new guy? There can't be two new guys. Am I the new guy still? And Jima's just there having a good time, being like, oh, look at the new guy. Like, I wanted to, you know that noise Nathan makes?
What's your stoner name, bro?
Oh.
I thought it was Nathan.
Where he's just like, really getting the essence of Nathan. And then I have Rosé being the one that's like being all intrigued and suspicious. She's the only one that's really paying attention in this group. Drawfee's also one of those channels that kind of made me realize that like art doesn't necessarily always have to be so serious all the time. I feel like Drawfee really inspired me to kind of let my art be more fun and be more silly at times, and be both entertaining to others and entertaining to myself. I went to school for art, and I feel like a lot of times they really pushed for everything to be serious and meaningful and deep, and they didn't really leave space for having fun. And in fairness, you know, that could be chalked up to certain professors. I had one professor tell me that I should look around the room and pick the person that was going to be my competition for the rest of the year. They did not want to breed positivity. Funny enough, the person that I like chose ended up becoming a good friend of mine throughout college. And like we both agreed, like, damn, that was not a healthy way to get students to bond. But so like that was kind of like the mindset I went in for like so much art, where I was like, this is a competition. This is about saying a serious message. And like Drawfee was one of those things where I was like, oh, it can be fun actually. Holy shit. Back to the art though. You can see I'm trying to like make the handle of the eyeglass look a little shiny, look a little metal. I switch it out at the end. I think that kind of looks like shit. But whatever. Oh, also, did you know Rosé had these scars? Like, I don't think I've ever actively noticed that before. And then I was like looking at the references like, holy shit, what happened to you? But you know what? You look like a bad bitch, so I can't say anything. Now, when you're watching this, I'm kind of assuming that you're watching it after you've already watched the newest episode, because it's coming out the same day this is. So who liked that episode? I sure did. You know, that new area, that new character. Wow. I mean, I'm sure I liked it. I like all these episodes. There's nothing stopping me from liking this shit. But like, you know, hopefully Porcino's there, because damn, he's part of the group now in my eyes. Maybe we'll meet some more rats, meet a new character. I mean, we're probably gonna meet a new character. We kind of have to meet a new character. New episode, new character. Duh. I kind of like to think that this character that I'm making would have like a good connection with Rose in particular. Just in that like, she's a thief, he carries around a bunch of tools, like maybe Rose just gets him to like pick locks. I mean, I think she knows how to pick locks, but it's just like, hey, can you go do the, go break into this thing for me? And he's just like, yeah, okay, seems like just a thing you do to solve a mystery. You just break into a thing. I think that makes sense. And he just goes off. And I think like, if my character was like with York, it would realistically be like the blind leading the blind. It'd be like the stupid leading the stupid. I think Jima would then like also just be in love with my character's dog daughter. I did take a few like minor liberties with the characters. Like, I think I pushed York's hair color to be more artificially yellow, as if, like, the main bit of the mullet was maybe dyed a, like, a sunflower yellow color. I also gave York back that, like, season 1 protruding jaw. I know Jacob had said he removed it, I think for the animation's sake of the series, but I don't know, I just love it. I love the silhouette it makes. I think it's very York. Oh my god, also, I realized I forgot Porcini's little sweater. I was like, holy shit, he's naked! And so I just slapped that on there real quick. I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry. I nudified him. But he's clothed now. I wanted my character to be a bit more like a post-it note yellow. I feel like this art makes him look a little more orangey, a little more of like a warm yellow. But honestly, part of it's like, oh, I can chalk that up to the lighting, but also I can just, it just looks better the way it is now. I also originally had imagined his hair being black, but I went with this like red-brown color, just because I think it helps make the character pop and even fit in with the others more. I think just having like a plain black hair would be too samey with the black varsity jacket, and I think the red of it helps kind of like carry the eye across all the characters in the composition. For their outfit, I imagine they just have like a nice fitted white t-shirt tucked into some like worn out black jeans with like the cuffs rolled. I'm really happy with how this one came out. I was really worried that my character was gonna look too samey to York's character with the tooth sticking out and the pointy ears, but I think they stand on their own pretty strong here. I imagine Jancy's off screen just being like, oh my god, I have so many people to look after now. Like she like invited the 3 of them in thinking like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna have these 3, it's gonna be easy. We're just gonna have a new team of investigators. And now here there's 6 of them. Anyways, this is the finished piece. You can see this is like the full art, and then I also made this version where I made it into like a movie still. I gave like the black edges, and I put in a little like quote from Jancy being like, meet the new intern. Anyways, I hope you really liked this video. I hope you liked making this little character with me. And what do you think? Do they fit in with the Drawtectives crew? Do they look like they're part of the world? And make sure to go watch Drawtectives 2. If you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out. They're on season 3 right now. And if you just found my channel through Drawtectives and you've just finished their episode, now you found this one, definitely give me a follow. I like to do art challenges, I'll do speed paints. I also draw a lot of buff men OCs, so I'm just saying, if you like Drawfee and you're like, ooh, I love like characters like Luz and stuff, I'm just saying you could follow me and see a bunch of buff sexy men. I'm just saying. If you have any ideas of like what I can do next, leave a comment, like the video. If you want to see some other videos, go check out my other 2 that I've posted in the past month or 2. I post videos every month, at least once every month. Last video we made a random D&D character, and the one before that I drew my OCs in different art styles. They're a good time, definitely check them out. And see you next time. Sorry.